This is the team of Listino Center for Children with Special Needs. Today, we are here with Auntie Selina, a professional nurse and now work at the Ministry of Health. She's a woman who knows more about autism, to the extent that even her masters did more research about autism. So today we want to know more about her knowledge about autism. When we define autism, autism is a biological and sensory processing disorder. It's not a mental illness. That's why there's no medical cure for it as of now. Auntie, good morning.
Good morning.
Auntie Selina, I know you personally, and then as somebody who has worked as a nurse over 15 good years, and now in the Ministry of Health. We want you to tell us about autism and your research. Whatever you know about it, let us know. In case you have more questions to ask
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What I know about autism. As a nurse, I got interacted with autistic children, but not until I did my research. I didn't know the detail and effects of autism. But autism simply is a sensory processing disorder, and the disorder affects the speech and behavior of the affected child. Sometimes how the child will interact socially. That's a problem. And my research was trying to identify how people who care for autistic children, let's say parents and caregivers. Okay, so what I realized was that during my research was that sometimes some of the children have affected mildly. Some have a severe type where they have attention deficit and very distractive. And so parents caring for such children go through a lot of challenges. There's no cure, and there's no cure for the condition. It's biological, and then you can control and manage it. But the management needs social support, financial, social support. That's the main important thing. The issue about Ghana is that this condition exists, but there's no publicity. There's no much research into autism. And so children that are affected with autism, their parents sometimes hide them because of stigma. When you take these children out to social gathering, their behavior, and so people perceive them as cursed children. They have bewitched them. Sometimes they said the mother have used the baby for juju, and then the mother has been cursed. That's why he has given birth to that child, and even the child is given to the woman by gods. So those are the things. So most people hide their children at home. Actually, when I was interviewing parents, one parent told me that he doesn't go out with the child. They are always at home. So he's cut off all friends and even families. So I realized the condition, much is not known in Ghana. It's only the individual who have the affected child that goes through this ordeal. And I was thinking that there should be publicity, awareness creation, so that we don't hide our children from others. The other difficulty is that these children cannot be mingled with, let's say in quotes, the normal children in class, because their learning process is a little bit slow. What I realized was that if your child is in school, you have to hire another teacher who will sit with the child in class for your child to pay attention to whatever they are teaching. So it's very difficult, and that one also causes financial implications. So Auntie Lizzie, you can ask me more and I can tell you more about autism. It's a condition that I wish all Ghanaians would be aware of.
Thank you, Auntie. Auntie Sally, as a nurse, parents always seek referrals or, okay, let me talk to this nurse. What have you able to help other parents, even the calming down or accepting that this is my child? Acceptance is the key word.
The issue is that autism is not diagnosed early. Sometimes, if you are lucky, it's diagnosed at 3 years. Because between 1 to 2 years, we see the behavior of the child as normal. Oh, maybe the speech has delayed. Meanwhile, we know every milestone there should be a developmental signal. But most of the time, we don't take notice of that until the child gets to about 3 years. And sometimes you take the child to school. Most of the time, it's the school teacher who realizes that, oh, the child is not picking up the speech, he's not socializing properly, and so maybe, and he's not concentrating in class. That is where maybe we refer that we'll take the child to hospital. When they come to hospital and they are diagnosed and tell them that this is a developmental challenge that affects the brain, but not, in quotes, mental sickness. Parents who hear the news for the first time has not been easy for them. And I would say sometimes people cry. And one woman told me after the diagnosis of the child, the husband left her because he has given birth to a troublesome or maybe a sick child or yarefo in Ghana. So there are a lot of things that when they come to the hospital, you realize that they are going through a lot of challenges. But because we nurses, we don't stay at home with them. Most of the behavior in hospital, you spend few hours at the hospital. So what we do is that we do a lot of counseling with them. But you counsel the woman and he goes home. You need to follow up. But that is not much done. We needed to follow up and give that woman the social support. Because most of the time, it's not about anything. It's about somebody who will console me, who accepts me and my child. So for nurses, they know. But how many minutes or hours do you stay with the nurses? It's more of the society accepting such child in the home or in the society. That's what I would say. And then, most of them, the most challenge is the social support. Social support because of the stigma. So parents, grandmothers don't want to go and visit because of the stigma that has given birth to Oyarefo, Jimmy, and those things. It makes the woman psychologically affected, the parents psychologically affected. Some stop working just to take care of the child. So in fact, autism is something that, for me, we need to organize and give the support to parents that are going through this or that are taking care of autistic children. Yes.
Auntie Sally, thank you. Accepting it as okay, this is my child. The 50% of that child healing will be off. Then it will left with the 50 that the nurses, the doctors and then even yourself, you can help that child. Auntie Sally, let's see, now you are not in the field as a nurse, and then now you are in the health office. So now you have removed the green or the white, then now you are wearing your suit. So Auntie, tell us, what are you helping with all your knowledge? Are you going to the centers, those who have the centers, those, have you taken any child that you want to, or any parent that you want to know through your research and this?
I would say the outcome of my research was that mostly some parents psychologically, after talking to them and making them accept the challenge, is one. Sometimes religious coping, they cope religiously. Give it to God, God give me the child. The children are blessing. So through that, religiously, parents accept and cope psychologically. Others also depend on the health facility or the hospital care, where it will be available that anytime I have challenge, or this is the particular hospital I sent my child to. But when you look at Ghana, for instance, we don't have a specific hospital set up for autistic children. It's the pediatric hospital. You go and then maybe sometimes you mingle with the normal ones to assess your medical care, which is also a challenge. I wish we could have, even if it's the normal center, we should have special days for those special children. In Kolebu, they have that special days for that special children, but I don't know about others. So I think the ministry has also set up a health information or health promotion unit, where health education to all the public to accept all conditions, because this particular condition is not about you ate this, you didn't go to hospital, you didn't get pregnant early, or you got pregnant early, or your husband was a drunkard and you were drinking. That there's no cause, there's no reason associated with delivering this child. So we should educate. I think the ministry should set up, like we have the public health or health promotion unit, where we should come out to educate the public. This is in Accra, but what about the villages? Yeah. Those children are hidden. Yeah. Parents don't go out. And so we need to come out to educate the general public to accept those children, and should take that name off, that is sick child, or yare for Jimmy, that thing out. Because autistic children are very clever. It needs patience to train them. You need to train them gradually. How to paste, you have to take time to educate the child to paste. Don't compare your child to any other child. He has his own special needs, special attention that you need to give to. You can't compare two autistic children. Every individual has his own way of learning. So we need to get time. So we need to educate the public to accept these children. And for women who have those children, can send them to the health facility for treatment. Treatment means that management. I won't say they are going to treat it like malaria comes and it goes. We manage the condition. And society's acceptance is at least 50% of the management of the child. Because management of autistic children does not depend on one individual. Yeah. It's not about the mother alone. He needs somebody to support. Okay. He needs somebody to support. There's a woman who told me that if he's even taking the child to school, he can't join trotro. He have to take taxi dropping, so that the two of them sit in. When they sit in the trotro, people, the child will be like touching people and then making noise. And people don't understand. Why is it that your child is at this age, you can't control your child? So if the society is aware, that woman can join trotro and people will accept that child in the trotro. It means that more cost because you have to pay extra to take the child to school. And even when he gets to the school, you have to pay another teacher to sit with the child until he comes. So it's something that I think society should be educated to accept autistic children. They are normal children. And unfortunately, because they are normal from the beginning, there's no abnormality. It is difficult for parents to detect the condition early. And then again, I think nurses and doctors should intensify education to the pregnant women, the welfare clinic. They should educate the people, the mothers, how to identify abnormalities every month, every milestone. There's something that you should be looking for from your child. Your child should be able to be doing ABC. If you get there and your child is not doing that, please report to the hospital. I think the child welfare clinic and antenatal, we start from antenatal and then to the child welfare clinic. We should educate parents so that we can detect this condition early, because most of them are detected late, whilst they have caused a lot of harm at home, distraction, breakups in marriages. Yeah.
Auntie, thank you. Autistic children or autism children, a pastor can have it, a nurse, a doctor,
everybody.
I want to say everybody. You can have it, I can have it. So don't think it's far. The moment your child is in your tummy, you don't know what is next.
And no lawyers, pilots, nurses, pastors, who have a lot. So it's not limited to an individual.
Yes.
It is the normal pregnancy, it is everything. Pilots said, so these days I don't fly, I have to stay at home. A lot of people, lawyers, and was weeping, why is it that my child cannot join the normal stream? I have money to pay the school fees, but my child is not normal. So it's not limited to somebody else. It's not about your rich, you are poor, when you were pregnant you were eating something, or when you're pregnant you fought with somebody. No. It comes, it's only God knows why. We don't have any control over it. So if you meet people who have autistic children, we should accept those children as ours. If you are lucky to have the normal one, don't turn your back against those who have the autistic children. They are also normal children. Help support to train them to be better people in the society. That's what I would say.
Parents, there is hope. You can recover your child. Accept it. That is what God has given you. Then 50% of that healing will be taken off. The rest, God will help you. Auntie, now we are talking about the school. At least parents, through your research, telling you unless they even pay a TA, that's the teaching assistant or something, before that child can even accept in that classroom or even in that school. You are in the field. You have passed through the education system. Parents have been telling you. What are you telling out the public? Just that the government should know the education system. What?
the schools the special schools that I visited, every child has his own special TA, apart from the normal teachers in the school.
Wow.
Yes.
So meaning they are paying the TA, they are paying the school, are also taking.
That is why I said financially it's a problem. Parents bring the child to school. It's the TA who meets the parent and take the child, because autistic children, when they know you, it's you I know. Any other person, it takes time for them to socialize. So when they know it's you, it's only you. So sometimes if the TA doesn't come, any other person going to take care of these autistic children is a problem. So parents pay extra. And there are few schools in Ghana that take care of those children. I am expecting that governments may establish the normal school where in the normal school system we have those class for special kids, and then government pays even the assistants to the teacher in the classroom, so that some of the financial burdens will be taken off from parents, because they are our children, and they are in the system. You know, autistic children they are clever, very intelligent. It's just that we don't have time to train or to educate.
We don't understand them.
Because we don't understand them, the issue is that it's difficult to communicate. So whatever I want, I can't tell you. So I have to use force. So we see them to be difficult children. They are not difficult. It's just that we don't understand them. So if we train teachers in a special way, special teachers that will teach these special children, it should be fine. At least the normal teachers training, fine, we all go through that. But we should have a special training for teachers that will take care of these special children. And that will be a lot of help from the government to the parents. Because for now, it's only the private institutions that are taken care of. So governments can train teachers for special kids, children with special needs, so that he will establish the school. If the normal bigger school, we have a class or two for special children, where special teachers that are trained to take care of special children will do that, and that will take off burden. So it's an appeal to the government education side to take care of that. And for the hospital, most of these children are not, if you be sick, it's like malaria, so it's not like they're coming to spend much time at the hospital. But you visit some like psychiatric hospital, some people bring their children and dump them there and run away because the child he doesn't understand, has a problem, and leave them. You can't find it. But education side, it is what I suggest, that we should train teachers for special children with special needs. Yes, that will be fine.
Ghana Education Service, University of Winneba have a special education, but after finishing this thing, I don't know, they ran away. They don't want to come and help our children. We are just pleading with you people. After school, don't go. Our children need you people. Auntie Sally, as a professional nurse, as somebody who now work in the office, want to run away from our children, no problem.
They are doing more than.
Okay. Personally, do you have any time, or are you dedicating yourself that, okay, this time I will go to schools, I will just do some talk, or those who have some centers, okay, because I have a child like this, okay, I have done 1 or 2 days to help that child. Okay, let me open a center that I will take those children. Actually, we have 2 categories of children. We have regular and we have the special children. So our special children, okay, I have 1, so let me open something. I have a house, so let me use it to open something. Have you taken it upon yourself that let me be going and then to see even the environment, what they are eating? I know that the dieting system really helped them. So even let me go and check personally. Now I won't.
For you personally, after my research, I've taken time to visit few of the centers that I did my research.
Okay.
And during that time, I realized the caretakers or the teachers or their cooks are like educated on the things that the children should eat.
Okay.
The environment where I did my research, most of them are okay, not bad.
Okay.
The environment is okay, the home is okay, because these children are very distractive.
Yeah.
So the environment is okay. It's not bad. I visited about 4 or 5 centers in Accra. I don't know about others in Accra and outside Accra.
Okay.
But all the centers I visited, most of the time they have people coming from outside to come and train them. That is the teachers, as to the food and how to care for the children. So that part, I can assure you they are doing that.
Okay.
And even last year or so, they were doing another program on them. I was invited.
Okay.
And I went. They brought their autistic children. And then there's a woman, NGO coming from somewhere, who also came to educate the caretakers, parents and caretakers, so, and the food that they are supposed to eat. And then the prospects, like, all is not lost.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to help them. So a few times, yes, I visited them. I call some parents and just to check on them.
Okay.
And then they are telling me the children are doing good. So I have not visited outside Accra.
Okay.
And even Accra, maybe there might be corner somewhere I have not visited. But those centers that I visited, they are doing well. They are being trained. So I would say it's not bad.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie Sally.
Yeah.
Parents who have children with special needs are going through a great deal of stress to raise them. I know this because I'm one of them. Marriages have turned to a divorce because of such children. You have to know that it's not loss. I would say all is well and it's well. You can recover your child from autism through the diet and the therapy. There's a center called Listino Center for Children with Special Needs. This woman has really helped her own child, her son, and now he's in regular school doing massive work.
I tell you that you could train autistic children to grow up to be normal. The normal, well, in quotes, is the speech, is socialization. That is the problem. Talking, sometimes because of the lack of attention, when you take them to school, they know that, you know, when the teacher is teaching, he's playing. So you may think this girl is maybe a dull student or let's say poor student in class. No, it's because he lacked the attention to sit down. So you're ranting 1, 2, 3. My attention is done. I'm going out, and you can't let me sit because I don't have the attention. So that's the problem. So when we are able to control them gradually, and they are able to sit and learn, you are gone. So don't be discouraged if you have autistic child. There's hope. There's hope. There's one woman who brought the child to last year. He could design, he could internet things and develop an app, whatever. He was there doing things. He brought, he's old, he's about 22 or something. And they were in the US. So I think if you are in Ghana and you have a child who is an autistic child, don't lose hope. You can do better. Your child can do better. Trust me. You will even be better than others. So parents, don't be discouraged. Society, let's accept those children. It's not a case. It's not anything. Don't shun, don't stigmatize parents. Don't shun these children. Love them like your own. Let them come to you. Let them get closer to you. And you realize that always it's you that they know. And whatever you tell them, gradually, even though they might not pick up as fast as you are thinking, but you know that I said we are drinking this water gradually, and they will help. They need the society or these parents and their children needs our support. And I think the social support is the biggest challenge that we have in Ghana. If we are able to give these parents that support, at least 80% of the problems will be solved because we accept them in the society.
Thank you,
well.
Nancy. Thank you, Aseki. When you talk about insults, some of us
have gone through it.
Yes. People just from outside, neighbors in the society has given to us freely without any consultation.
Don't pay anything.
They don't pay anything, they just insult you because you have a child like that. You can build a mansion today that is for your children. You can build a mansion today. The independence of that child is more important. If tomorrow you are not there, that child can be independent. Meaning, that child will not depend on anybody in the house or in the society. He can go and he can come back. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he because when you take let's say 60 or 59 out of male children, you get 3 out of it. When you take 60, you get 1 female out of the 60 children. So it's there. And autism has come to stay. You don't know who is in this child. So just accept our children. They can recover. Auntie Sally, what are you telling parents? Those who have locked their children in the room, those who are injecting their children because of their hyperactivity, because of their attention deficit, because of the intervention plan, they don't know what provoked that child to be hyper. Then what are they giving to a child that they are getting that hyperactivity? What are you telling parents?
Parents, I understand you. It is not easy taking care of autistic child. I learned that whenever you give them more sugary food,
yes,
they become more hyperactive, in a sense that sugar is carbohydrate and it gives energy. So when you give them more, so we parents who like giving calipo and those kind of coke, if you have autistic child, please reduce that, because that makes them very hyperactive. Parents, I said there's hope. Don't hide your children at home. If you get to Auntie Lizzie, your problems will be solved. At least share with her. Again, I will also say that every woman who is going through childbirth, your antenatal clinic is very important. And when you deliver, your weighing card, I know inside the weighing card they have developmental milestone, what you should expect from your child to be doing at the age of 6 months, 10 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, some of the things that your child should be able to do. If you see your child always sitting alone, doesn't want to play with any other person, he's around 1.5 years to 2 years, he doesn't want to socialize, please check. If you see that your child cries indiscriminately, there's nothing happening to the child by his crying. You want your child to be able to sit quietly sometimes, but you cannot. For walking, they don't have problem with it, but he doesn't make friends. Even the people he doesn't, visitors, they don't like them at all, even those they are staying with. If you see those challenges, actually when the child is 10 months going, they have this fear of visiting 10 months. They know the people around them. That is normal. If a child is around 10 months, he knows the people around them. They will go to you, but when a visitor comes, when you want to take them, they won't agree. But you stay for 2-3 hours, they will crawl and come to you. That is normal. But if your child is 2 years and he doesn't want to go to anybody, he can stick to looking at me. If television, can open the eyes like this and be looking at television, or sometimes jumping over things, climbing things, and he cannot communicate. Those are the signs that you need to. It's a time that you should be able to tell you, mommy, daddy, it's not coming, or I want to wee poo poo, it's not coming. Please check. Very important. And when you go to weigh in, just tell the nurses over there, this is what I'm noticing. If you are noticing any strange thing, inform them so that we can take the step to manage the condition as early as possible. I think those are the little things that parents look out for. They can work by communication. They should be able to say, Dada, Daddy, Mommy. Sometimes at 1.5 years, 1 year, 1 year, you could see that someone is going, Mama Sally. You see the sound that you want to call the Mama Sally. That is fine, but you could make only noise that you cannot understand. Please check. That is true. We women that are delivering, going to weigh, so that we can detect early, because it is difficult to look at the structure of the child, an autistic child, to say, oh, you are autistic. No, he's a normal child. I guess that social interaction and communication is the problem, and it's difficult to detect that as early as the 2 years. So because of that, it takes about 4 years for people to be diagnosed. Others go to Asofo Chain for prayers. A lot of people I interviewed said they went to Asofo pastors for prayers, and one day somebody told them that, have you been to the hospital? So he thought it's spiritual something. So they went to the hospital at 4 years and they told them it's autism. I think it would have been very much better if they visited the hospital earlier and they understand the condition. You are not alone, parents. We have a lot of autistic children in the system. So don't hide you are not alone. You didn't cause it. It's God who gives. You didn't. Nobody caused it. It's not about the witch. It is something that happens. It's not about because you are poor, or it's not about because you are rich. It's not about because you have a big car, or because you are not working. It happens to everybody. Pastors, doctors, nurses, bankers, lawyers, pilots, all mention them. It happens. So if it happens to you, you are not the only person in the system. A lot of them are in the system. So you are all welcome. Just accept your child. And society, accept those children and accept those families. so that we can move on in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Sally. We are once again saying thank you to all our viewers, those who are watching us now. Auntie Sally, we are saying thank you.
Thank you too.
The early intervention of such children really help. Seek the early intervention. That child can be recovered. I'll say it again. That child can be recovered. With Listino Center for Children with Special Needs, we have done it. We have a testimony for my own son. Come, that child can be independent. You as a parent, you know the pain you are going through because I've passed there. Come and train yourself so that you know their diet, you know the sensory, the gut, how you can heal it so that that child can be free. Auntie Sally, once again, thank you so much.
Thank you too for the good work.
Thank
you for the opportunity for me to talk. Yes, for me to talk. Because after my study, I went with a research assistant. It was my nephew.
Okay.
And then he was like, I've never seen these kids before.
Okay.
So I want us to always go and visit them. You have done well.
Thank you.
So we are there to talk, to support all the time. We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to one day to come, just pass by our office.
I'll come. Just tell me the office and I'll come.
Okay, Auntie. Okay, Auntie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Listino is on Facebook, YouTube, and then Instagram. We have our website too. With Listino Center for Children with Special Needs, with hope, together we smile. You can locate us at Adenta SDA. From the SDA, where the traffic light is, from Rick's, the next traffic light is the SDA. From the roadside to where the office is just 200 meters away from the roadside. Just call us. From Monday to Friday, the office is open around 8:30 to 5:30. The Saturdays, we normally work from 12 to 4. Thank you. Anybody who need help, whether you want to train yourself or whether you want to be a TA for a special child, just call us 024 13 99 99 0. The 9 is 4. Just 024 13 99 99 0. You are there to help. Let's smile together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie.